Iraq War. What if, tomorrow morning, the United States declared war on every country on Earth? 95 countries, 7 continents, 8 billion people, the world's most powerful military versus everyone else. Tonight, we're breaking it down, strategically, economically, historically, without hype, without fantasy. It spends more on defense than the next several countries combined. It operates around 750 military bases worldwide. It has 11 aircraft carriers, more than the rest of the world combined. It leads in stealth aircraft. But here's the problem. It's about supply chains. The US would lose something immediately. The United States has fought 2 world wars. In World War I, it joined the Allies. In World War II, it fought alongside the UK, the Soviet Union, Canada, Australia, and dozens more. Even during the Cold War, it relied on NATO, a 32-country alliance. The reason is simple. The US has never fought a full-scale conventional war against multiple top-tier powers at the same time. Not Russia, not the entire European Union. So a war against every country wouldn't look like Iraq, it wouldn't look like Afghanistan. It would look like a global system collapse. Let's break it down. Every US military base overseas instantly becomes vulnerable. Germany, Japan, South Korea, Italy, the Middle East. Those bases exist because host countries allow them. If war breaks out, those governments would shut them down or seize them. American troops stationed abroad would need emergency extraction. Now consider this. About 40% of global trade passes through contested sea lanes. If the entire world's navies coordinate against the US, maritime routes would become battlegrounds. The US Navy is the strongest on Earth, but it cannot be everywhere at once. And here's where it gets complicated. The American military depends on global supply chains. Rare earth minerals from China, semiconductors from Taiwan, pharmaceutical ingredients from India, oil routes through the Middle East. In a global war, those supplies stop immediately. You might think this scenario is purely military. It's not. It's economic. Within days, global markets would crash. The US dollar is the world's reserve currency, but that status exists because other nations trust and use it. If every country is at war with the US, that trust evaporates. International banking systems freeze. Shipping insurance collapses. Oil prices spike beyond historical levels. Gas stations in America empty within a week. Grocery stores. Supply chains strained. Pharmaceutical shortages. Likely, and then there's cyber warfare. Countries like China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, and many advanced European states have cyber capabilities. A coordinated cyber offensive targeting power grids, water systems, financial networks, air traffic control would create chaos domestically, even without a single foreign soldier stepping on US soil. Now, let's address the big assumption. Could the US defeat every military conventionally? Individually? Often yes, simultaneously. That's different. China has the world's largest navy by ship count. Russia has the largest nuclear arsenal, alongside the US-India fields over 1 million active troops. Europe collectively has advanced air forces and defense industries. If those forces coordinated, even imperfectly, the US would be fighting on multiple oceans and multiple continents at once. No nation in history has successfully fought the entire world simultaneously in a modern industrial era. Not even at the height of the British Empire. Not Nazi Germany. Not Imperial Japan. Because scale overwhelms power. And then comes the most dangerous variable: nuclear weapons. 9 countries possess them. If the US attacked every country, nuclear escalation becomes almost inevitable. And here's the hard truth. In a full nuclear exchange, there is no winner. Even a limited exchange could trigger global famine, infrastructure collapses, nuclear winter scenarios, long-term climate disruption. It wouldn't be about who wins, it would be about who survives. So here's the real question. Could the United States conquer the world? Militarily, in pieces, possibly sustainably. Almost certainly not, because conquest requires occupation. Occupation requires manpower. The US has about 1.3 million active duty personnel. That's not enough to control 195 countries with billions of people. Even controlling Iraq and Afghanistan stretched resources for 20 years. Now multiply that by the entire planet. It becomes mathematically impossible. More likely than conquest is stalemate. Followed by collapse, global trade would implode. Economic depression would spread worldwide. Domestic unrest would rise. All sides would suffer. And eventually, negotiation. Because modern global systems are interconnected, the United States isn't powerful in isolation. It's powerful because of integration, trade networks, financial systems, alliances, technology partnerships. Destroying the world would mean destroying the foundation of American strength itself. Here's the final takeaway. The United States has the most powerful military on Earth. That's not propaganda. That's measurable reality. But power in the 21st century isn't just force projection, it's economic leverage, diplomatic influence, technological leadership, alliances. If America attacked every country, it wouldn't prove dominance, it would prove interdependence. And that might be the most important insight of all. The global order isn't held together by fear alone, it's held together by cooperation. So maybe the real question isn't, what if the US attacked everyone? Maybe it's, what keeps that from ever happening? What incentives, alliances, and economic realities prevent total global war? Because sometimes, the strongest power isn't the one that fights, it's the one that understands what it would lose. If you want more deep dive scenarios like this, grounded in strategy, not hype, subscribe to USA Uncovered. And tell us in the comments, what if should we break down next? Because the world is more complex than headlines suggest. And we're here to unpack it.